Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully complete our desktop navbar, right? So now I want to work for a mobile view. Because of all here when you make it as a mobile view, you can see it's totally destroyed it. So now I want to create another menu. That means when it will be into the mobile screen, then our this menu will be loaded. So if you want to do that work, first of all I have already created one of the component. If you go to right now here, we don't need this. I close it and also I close it. Okay, so now if you go to our common, into the common, and that is our nav menu for mobile. Okay, so here I have already created another one as a nav menu for mobile. So first of all we have to make it as a fragment. I want to use it as a fragment, so I simply loaded this fragment. Everything procedure will be same. Better I want to do from our desktop, I want to take some of the data, like in our desktop there is our fragment, right? And there is a navbar. So now I want to copy everything. Okay, after that fragment I copy total dev. Before this before this fragment I copy total things. And now in our nav menu mobile, after that fragment here I want to paste it. Okay, I simply paste it. So right now there is a navbar. So right now here we don't need this any navbar. I remove this navbar and also I remove this navbar. Okay, and now also we have to add that our container, row, and then column better from our nav menu from desktop. I want to take everything. Okay, I take everything, I copy it, and then now in our nav menu mobile, into the nav menu mobile, after this I paste it. Okay, I simply paste it. Perfect. So now here I only want to take one column, that means this column, and in this column area I want to use this button. Okay, so I only want to display both of these. I cut it, and then in our first, after that logo I want to use it. So I simply load it, and rest of our two of this column I remove it. Okay, I simply remove two of this column, which is totally fine. Now our this that means this menu I want to load it in our home page. So that is our nav menu desktop. So I will first of all I want to check it for our mobile view. For the mobile view here I want to load our another one. So I simply remove it, and here that will be as a nav for the mobile, right? Nav menu for mobile. I simply loaded this nav menu for mobile, and when you click as enter, it will be imported. Nav menu mobile from our component common and the nav menu mobile, right? So that is our nav menu mobile, which is totally fine. Now if you click as a save all, first of all I have to check it. Now click as a refresh. Perfect. You can see now that is display as a one of the logo and then the 3 item. And if you minimize it, yeah, that is actually our mobile view, which is totally fine. Here friend, I want to add one of the icon in here. When you click it, automatically another menu will be loaded. So this menu I don't want to visible in here. Okay, so into the desktop view, that will be display this menu rather than it should be display another menu. So step by step I will show you friends, make that sure you understand that part. So it should be little bit interactive. I hope you will like it very much. Here I want to add some of the functionality. Right now I want to do, if you go to our code again, so that is our code in our nav menu mobile. So into this nav menu mobile, and that is our first column, right? So before our these images, that means before our this logo, here I want to add another button. So that will be just like that button, but I copy it and now here I paste it. Okay, so that will be another button, but I want to separate it everything, then it will be helpful to you. I separated. Okay, so now there is a button. So this button area I want to use one of the name here, class name. I only want to use that as a not card button. I will use that as a button. Okay, rather than it will be actually curve, I make it as a solid one, and then one of the class name as a Fafa shopping cart. So that here I don't want to use that as a Fafa shopping cart. I want to use one of the Fafa bar. Okay, so that will be as a Fafa, and then the bar, BRS bars. So now that's Fafa bars will be visible, and here we don't need any text. I remove it. So that is our simple one of the button. Now click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh. So now you can see it's now showing one of the icon as a Fafa bar icon. Perfect. So friend, here I want to do, when you click in particular this bar, okay, then automatically one of the menu will be loaded, and also here I want to make it little bit overlay. So here step by step I show you. For the reasons here I have already created some of the CSS. I want to share this CSS file with you. In your CSS, so there is a neb CSS. So into the neb mobile CSS, I have created one of the class as a side neb open. So as I told you, I want to do when you click it in here, then one of the side menu will be loaded. So here I actually created some of the CSS code. Is basic CSS, some of the code. I simply use it in here. Okay. So one of the class has a side neb open, that will be the side neb close, so it will be also close. And then I want to use some of the overlay, that is a content overlay open and then content overlay close. So that's the 4 class, but I copy it. I will show you why I'm actually using it. Everything will be more clear. I copy it, and now in our project, into this project, there is a CSS I have already created before, one of the menu as a neb menu mobile, right? So neb menu mobile CSS, here I simply paste it. Perfect. So now if you want to display it, I show you why I'm actually using it. If you go to that this neb menu mobile, into this neb menu mobile, that is our total row, and then that is our container, right? Perfect. After this container, before this div, okay, after this container, I want to first of all load our this CSS, then everything will be more clear. I take another div, okay, I take another div, and into this div area I want to use one of the class name. I want to use our class name as a side neb open. Okay, I use it. So then everything will be more clear. I use this class. Okay, so into this class area I want to load one of the menus. Right now I want to use one of the menu. I take one of the HR tag. Okay, I want to close this HR tag, and here I want to use one of the class name, and I just make this class name as a wide. I make it as a 80. Okay, 80 wide. I simply put it in particular that position, and after that I want to take another div. I take another div, and then I close this div, and into this div area I want to use one of the class name. I name was one of the bootstrap class name as a list group. Okay, list and then group, list group. So list group. Perfect. So into this position I want to load one of the icon first. So I use one of the a tag, anchor tag. I close this anchor tag, and here I will use that one of the class name. Just first of all I want to check it. Later I will remove it. I want to show you why I am actually using that side neb bar, what exactly this class will be work. I want to display that part, so I name it on the class name, and here it should be load one of the list group. Okay, list and then group, that is one of the bootstrap class. This group, group. Okay, list group item I want to load. So there is a list group item, and I want to make one of the neb. Okay, neb as a font, and the neb item menu, and list group. Okay, list group, and then I make it as a list group item action. So that is one of the bootstrap class. I want to use it in here, and after that I want to use one of the icon. Okay, and one of the home icon I want to use. So I make it as a class name, and here that will be as a far, and then mr2. Okay, margin 2. I make it as a far home. And then our name will be as a home. So now friend, if you save it, I click on save it. I want to show you why I'm actually using this side neb open and what exactly that will be do. I open it. Now click on refresh. Yes, you can see now actually it's loaded one of the menu. You can see when it should be as open, that means this side neb open. So now this side neb open is visible. So now with this CSS class, okay, so now with this CSS class, now that will be loaded. You can see it's now successfully loaded in here, right? And when you use that another one class as a side neb bar close, so if you use that as a side neb bar close, then that will be actually closed. If you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, now you can see now that is actually closed. So here I want to put some of the actions, like when you click in on here, then this CSS, okay, so now this CSS will be executed as a, that means this CSS class will be executed as a side neb bar open. And also when you click it again in here, then I want to load this CSS class as a side neb bar close. I hope you understand that part, what exactly the things I want to do on here. When it will be as a side navbar open, then that will be actually display. And now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see it's now successfully displayed. That means here I want to load that all that our menu. Okay, perfect. And also I want to do when it should be actually comes up here, I want to make it as an overlay. Overlay means it should be a little bit hidden. I show you better. That is our first div, right? So after this div I want to take another one. After this I take another div, I close this div. I hope you understand what exactly the things I want to do on here. I take one of the class name. So I have already created another class. If you go here, you can see I have already created another class as a content overlay open and another one as a content overlay close. So for the open, it should be load this type of one of the things, and also for the content close, it should be display as a none. Okay, so now I want to load it as a content overlay. I load this content overlay. Now if you click as a save all, so now that should be open and this content overlay will be executed. If you now click as a refresh, yes, you can see it's now executed. So I want to do when our this menu will be executed, then that will be actually hide. Okay, that means that will be as a hide, and when this class will be gone, that means here when it should be as a close, then our this layout, that means overlay, will be also gone. Right friends, here I want to use this type of one of the trick in here. That is actually our action button, right? So that is action button I want to do. When you click it on here, that will be loaded. That means our this slide neighbor will be open, and also our content overlay will be open. Okay, and also you can see it's not display our this button. If you go to that inspect, I want to use some of the inspect code in here. Then that will be better. If you go, I want to select this part first. Okay, select it, and there is a neighbor open. Into this open area, I want to use some of the margin top. Okay, margin top. Where exactly the margin top? I use that margin top. I make it as a 40 pixel. 40 pixel. You can see now that is actually visible, right? So better I want to make it as a 50 or 55. Okay, make it as a 55, then that will be actually visible, right? Better I want to use this margin top in our this class as a side nav open. So if you go to that our side nav mobile view and set the side nav open, after this I want to use one of the margin top. Now click as a save all, and now refresh it. Okay, refresh it, and now if you go, yeah, you can see it's now perfect. So now that is actually visible. Here, as I told you friend, I want to do when you click it on particular that menu, that means this bar, then our this neighbor will be loaded, and here it will be as an overlay, and when you click it again, then that will be actually gone. So then our another CSS will be executed as a neighbors side close, right? So that means the side nav close, and when it should be the close, I only want to run our this content overlay close. That means then it should be gone, and also that will be gone. Okay, so here we have to little work for this, and also they have some of the shadow. Better I want to continue this process. In our next video, I will show you that things with the live example. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.